Hey, fourth graders. This is looking back, subjects and verbs, page 256. 56, all right. So just one page today, but there is a lot of work you have to do on this one page. So, for now on in our language lessons, we will pretty much just be doing reviews. So, yeah, I won't be teaching you guys anything new for the next week or so. We're just gonna go over what we've learned throughout the year. So, yeah. All right. Let's get started. So, first problem says think A, underline the verbs 2 times. So, verbs 2 times. And the subject 1 time. Watch for compound parts. Okay, compound means, remember, means more than one. More than one or two or more, right? Okay. Well, let's look at this a little bit closer. So, I'm gonna go over, verbs and subjects real quick. So you know that verbs are, or subjects are what the sentence is talking about. Okay. The what, who or what the sentence is talking about. All right, and the subject is always the one doing the verb, the main verb in sentence. Okay, verbs are, what happened, right? The action tells us what the action, or answers what happened or so what. That's what a verb is. Usually they're action words. Let's go over some examples. First one, Anastasia and Alexis jumped on a trampoline after school. If I haven't used you yet in examples, let me know. I forgot who I haven't used as an example yet, but today it's going to be a few students. All right, Anastasia and Alexis jumped on a trampoline after school. So let's underline the verb 2 times and the subject once. So let's look for the verb first. So jumped is the verb. Who jumped? Anastasia and Alexis, or the trampoline jumped? Who, or the school jumped? Obviously, it's Anastasia and Alexis, right? Yeah. So jumped is the verb because it tells us what happened, which is jumped, and the subject is Anastasia and Alexis because that answers who or what the sentence is about, right? The sentence is about these two girls. And our second part of directions says watch for compound parts. Remember, compound means more than one. And this is what they're talking about. Anastasia and Alexis. That's a compound subject, right? More than one subject. So some of these sentences might have more than one subject in them, not just one. Let's go over another example. Joseph earned all A's during the third quarter. So this is actually true. Joseph did a really good job during the third quarter. He improved. Second quarter, he got lots of A's and some B's, but third quarter he got all A's. So good job, Joseph. So let's do this. Okay, let's underline the verbs 2 times. So what happened? He earned, right? Who earned? Joseph did. Joseph is the subject because the answer is who did the action. That's pretty much it. And real quick, to test is make sure you underline the correct words. Remember, you should be able to make really short sentences with the subject and the verb that you underline. For example, this is Anastasia and Alexis jumped. All right, that's a complete sentence. For this one, Joseph earned. That's also a complete sentence. So that's one way you can test to make sure you underline the subject and the verbs correctly. So we do the same thing for the rest of think A. We'll do number 1 together. So for 1 whole hour, the Sims boys and their friends hunted for minnows in the pond. So what's the verb here? What's the action word? They hunted, right? Okay, what's the subject? Who hunted? For 1 whole hour, the Sims boys and their friends hunted for minnows in the pond. So the boys, and you might be tempted to underline Sims boys, but Sim in this case is an adjective because it describes boys, and their friends, so compound subject, hunted, right? So boys and their friends hunted. Yep, that's a complete sentence. So do the rest of think A, think B. Underline each verb twice and each subject once. Draw one line through each prepositional phrase. On notebook paper, diagram the subject and verb of each sentence. So lots to do right here. So let's do the first step. Underline the verb twice. And draw one line through the prepositional phrase. Okay. All right, let's do number 1 and 2 first. First 2 steps. Okay. 3 enormous red cherries are hanging from the branches. First thing, let's look for the verb. What happened? Hanging, right? But not just hanging, are hanging. Make sure you're also including the helping verbs too. So not just the verb, but also the helping verbs along with it. Okay, who's hanging? Or who or what is hanging? Cherries. Not just, we don't underline red because that's an adjective, but cherries are hanging. Yeah. Draw one line through each prepositional phrase. Remember, a prepositional word that tells us when or what. Okay, those are prepositional words, and they're not nouns. Okay. So make sure you don't mistake nouns for prepositions. So 3 enormous red cherries are hanging from the branches. So from is a preposition because it answers where. Sorry, not when and what. Sorry. It's where and when. Forgetting what the preposition is. Okay, where and when. Okay, those are what prepositions are words that answer where and when preposition. So 3 enormous red cherries are hanging from the branches. So from is a preposition. I'm just going to put it in parentheses first. From is a preposition because it answers where. Correct? So I can say the monkey ran from the box, right? Since from, I can plug from into that sentence frame and it makes sense. From is a preposition because it answers where. Now we keep going for the prepositional phrases. We keep going until we find the object. From what? From the. So can we stop here? Nope. That's not the object. From the branches. All right. So that's a prepositional phrase right there. From the branches, and we're gonna cross that out. It's okay if you put it in parentheses, like I did here. You don't have to, but it helps me. Let's do number 2. After dinner, Father and Jeff hurried to the game. Okay, so what's the verb here? What happened? They hurried. That's the action word. So we'll underline that. Who hurried? Father and Jeff. Okay, so next step, look for the prepositional phrase. Now let's look for preposition words first. So we know after is a preposition. Because after is a word that tells us when. The monkey ran after the box, right? Yeah. Or no, that tells us, yeah, this is when, because the monkey ran. What was the sentence frame again? The monkey ran after recess, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Since after answers when, that's a preposition. After, what's the object? Dinner. All right, so that's a prepositional phrase. Remember, this could be more than one prepositional phrase in a sentence. So that's any other prepositions. Yep, to is a preposition. The monkey ran to the box, right? To the game. Game's the object, so cross that out also. So the monkey ran blank the box. Okay, so if I could plug in the word here, and the answer is where, it's a preposition, and also the monkey ran blank recess. So these are prepositions that answers when. Okay, so if you can fit into these sentence frames, then we know that it is a preposition. All right. Okay, and also Yeah. All right. We have to do number 3. On notebook paper, diagram the subject and verb of each sentence. So we're just diagramming the subject and the verbs. You don't have to include the adjectives and um, anything like that, okay? All right, so let's diagram number 1 and 2 together. I'm going to erase this. Because number 1 sentence was, the 3 enormous red cherries are hanging from their branches. Remember, diagram starts with a line. And first we diagram this. The subject goes to the left, and the verb goes to the right. Okay, so what's my, for number 1, it's cherries. It's the subject. Draw a line splitting it between the two. And are hanging is my verb. What happened? I should say predicate instead. Predicate. All right. Predicate, verb. Pretty similar. Okay, so that's how you diagram number 1. Number 2, after dinner, father and Jeff hurry to the game. So again, well, actually, here we see here that we have 2 subjects, right? So gotta draw 2 lines for the subject. How many verbs do we have? We just got 1 verb. Okay, so draw 1. So fill in your subjects: father, Jeff. Make sure you draw that rocket. Remember the rocket ship. And since they're connected by the word and, dotted line here, write the word and, draw the wall, the rocket crashes to the wall, and write in my verb, hurried. Okay, so yeah, it's a good idea to draw lines first for how many subjects, and then draw how many lines, a line for each verb in the sentence, and then start diagramming your sentence. Yeah. Okay, so do that for the rest of Think B all the way up to 13. You will need to do this on a separate paper. You guys do not have space on the worksheet to do this. All right. Okay. So that is it for this page. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. All right. Take care.